Move. Yep. Let's get the pop out. Yep. Copy. The pop out. Copy. Alright. So live. Alright. So live. Walk through the door, they don't frisk him. I told my no more fellas. Too shitty in the way. She pretty in the face. I gotta burn my knee. Alright, cool. So live. I told my no more fellas. Too shitty in the Huh? Phone. Alright, cool. Right, we're live. See this line's meaning. You know what I'm saying? Right, let's get it, man. What we on? How's everyone doing? Yeah, cool. Right, we're live with the DXY today. Couple areas. What's good? What's everyone saying? We live and direct. DXY. 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 Let's focus. How's everyone doing? We know we gotta get that lion's mane in before anything. Let's go. What's everyone saying? What's good? CPI. We got 25 minutes. Brother, are you bearish? What, on the dollar? The dollar could go either way. I don't have a bias right now because of the news that's coming. So I don't actually have a bias at the moment, bro. Anything can happen with the inflation. So I'm not necessarily bearish or bullish at the moment. I want to kind of wait for this news to happen because we could get spikes up or spikes down. So I actually think it's going to go higher, but it could drag it down lower first, you know? So with the inflation data coming out, I'm not trading the news. I'm going to wait till the news settles. I'm going to wait till after. But if you want my opinion, I think it's going to go higher first. But anything can happen, bro. So I don't have a bias for the dollar just yet. I want to wait for the news to do its thing because the news is just going to manipulate. But the way the structure's looking, if I show you like out of the daily, like we're inside this daily area where it could continue the structure is been on. If you think about like we had like a range here, we pushed to the upside, but now we're kind of stalling. It could pull down, so it could do something like this, and then it could get stronger, you know, something along those lines. Or it could just go up from where it is, but I don't have a trade for this right this second, so go wait for the news. There's no point guessing or trying to gamble on the news, bro. It's just not worth it. How long you been trading? Go, sweet saying. Back again. US 30 every time. Yeah, I feel you. I'll check in a sec. Obviously, we got inflation data, though. I'm starting a 3-day fast today. I'm only drinking coconut water for 3 days. So wish me luck, man. Wish me luck. So, US 30. US 30. So for me, we're still in this area where it could get bullish from. But we don't see bullish signs in terms of it's one down, went up here, come down again. Kind of still holding this area. It could come for the lows of Monday. It could also come for the lows from last week in this area. So it's looking bearish at the moment. But again, the inflation can change it in a sec. So I don't really have a bias again until the news actually departs. I don't think it's worth trying to bet on either of these trades. Who's in the trade right now? Anyone in the trade right now? You're bearish today. Okay. I think it's possible to continue down lower for sure, but again, I feel like with what it's showing, hopefully you guys can see the whole. Let me go on the bigger time frames. Basically, what it's been showing from this morning's price action, it pushed up, played into this area where the volume came down from, so here, and it's been continuing down. But in terms of the bigger time frame area, as long as this 4-hour area holds, like as long as it could come back into this area and get bullish again. So yeah, bro, I don't have a trade on right now. 3 years GBP bearish. Yeah, that's true. Bro, pump it up. Let's run a rug pull. Nah, bro. We ain't running no rug pulls. We ain't doing none of that, bro. But yeah, we're waiting on the DXY to give us the indication of we're gonna get stronger on the majors. So for me, looking at Euro USD on the daily, I think you know, it could actually, as long as this area holds, it could actually get bullish. So thinking about again, if it pushes down into here temporarily, holds this area, could get bullish. But I'm expecting volatility to kick in. So if once the volatility kicks in, you don't know where it's gonna go. So you need to just wait for the dust to settle. Do I trade GJ? No. But I can look at it for you, though. I trade GBP USD, not GJ, though. So, obviously, the pound had some good news this morning with the employment data. So, it kind of pushed up this morning. I reckon it looks like it wants to go higher. But, again, with the inflation data coming out, I'm chilling for now. But I do think GU is going to go higher. But GJ, we could check GJ. Forex. GJ. Okay, so GJ's been pushing up since last week. Okay, so it come out of the range last week. And then it's been bullish, boy. So it's probably going to top out these highs above the 200 level. This is GBP JPY Neymar. It's GBP JPY. So it's probably going to top out here, bro. You want to see how it reacts once it does that. Unless you're already in the buy. But it's been very, very bullish since last week. But it's close to the highs, though. It's really, really, really close. So it's probably going to push past the high and then see what happens after that. What's your bias on it? Are you bullish? Are you bearish on it? It's been buying up heavy since last week. Yeah, facts. Safe trading in 20, for sure. I'm actually chilling till CPI happens. I'm not in a trade until afterwards. Hopefully. Watch market should you buy for the most winning? There is no most winning market, bro. Truthfully, it's just about getting accustomed and getting used to which pair you like that you want to trade. It's not really about there's a best pair to trade. There isn't a best pair to trade. All the pairs are good. You just kind of got to learn the behavior and get comfortable and get used to how it moves. So yeah, there isn't a best pair to trade. I wouldn't say there is a best pair to trade. There's not really a best pair to trade. Have I got a Discord? No, so I do have a free community. It's not on Discord though. It's on the school platform. You can definitely join it, bro. So either go to my account and just message me privately. I'll send you the link, and then you can join after the live. But it is a community. It's free. There's a lot of information in there. There's a lot of daily updates in there. Trades that I'm looking at, outlooks. There's a lot of things that go on in there. So for anyone that wants access to the free community, just message me, and yeah, I'll send you the link after the live. Euro USD most liquid and most predictable. All the charts are liquid, man. I wouldn't say it's the most liquid. Gold is probably the most liquid, to be honest with you. But it is quite predictable as well. What bars do you use? When you say what bars do I use, what do you mean by that, bro? You mean candlesticks? I'm not sure. What's the question? But yeah, we're waiting on the dollar right now. So there's two things the dollar can do, in my opinion, is continue higher or get weaker from where it is. So like Heiken, Ashi, or candles. Yeah, just candles, just normal candlesticks, bro. Japanese candlesticks. Dollar going up. Yeah, it's possible. CPI coming out higher. All right. You say you want to make a bet on that? All right. So they're saying the inflation's going to go up. So but bearing in mind, higher CPI is not actually good for the dollar. Because it means the dollar currency is getting worse. Getting weaker, should I say. FX. Yeah, this is the DXY chart right now. So, again, let me just write here so you guys can understand. Waiting. So we've got 15 minutes. So I'm waiting on the CPI, yeah? There's nothing, I'm not in a trade at the moment. I'm not predicting any trades. I'm not doing anything. I don't know until the dollar does what it does. But I do think it can go higher though. What's good, Ben? What's good? It's EU 22 to 28% of daily FX volume. Yeah, it's a major pair. I'm not saying it's not a major pair, but in terms of being the most liquid, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most liquid in terms of just all pairs move. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's kind of what I mean. Do you guys think XUX, do you think gold can go up? Yeah, gold can go up. Gold can also come down. I'll go through gold in a sec. Basically, I don't have a bias right now on GU. So GU has been ranging, yes, definitely. But it could also take out the top of the range and provide a trade after taking out the top of the range. So the structure on GU has been rising, so there's nothing to suggest it's gonna come down. Ain't we coming from solid? This is just a 4-hour time frame, bro. This is just a 4-hour. I like to use the daily as well. The daily is probably the most powerful time frame in my opinion, especially if you're a day trader. CJ, yeah. I do. Gold sells. Okay, so you're saying the dollar's getting stronger. Ghost. Let's see. I'm with it still. I'm with that. There's something weird that happened on dollar. So I use 2 different feeds, right? If you look at this feed, so how the week started, right? On Monday, there's a big wick that didn't happen on the dollar. So like if you look at the open on Monday, can you see this wick? It wicked up crazy on the open, right? But then on a different dollar feed, so this is the DXY, yeah? You can see the wick. It wicked up on the open. On a different DXY, there is no wick. There's no wick here. So I don't know if it was an inkling or something to suggest it's going to go higher. I'm not sure, but I do think it can go higher. I do think it's possible. We just got to kind of wait and see, though. Russ, what's happening, bro? You good? Do I take activated charcoal? No, I don't. I can't say I've tried it before, but I can't say I regularly take activated charcoal. I'm not sure. GU looks weird. EU looks better. Yeah, GU looks weird because the dollar's not doing that, bro. Yeah. If you look at the price action of the dollar today, this is the DXY chart. Look, this is what the DXY has done today. This is not good price action. So do you use OBs or daily bias? I use both, bro. And daily bias, the structure. So when it comes to trading, how I trade is based off of what market structure is showing you, right? Amongst other things, but the structure is very important to have a bias in terms of a direction. So without that, you don't really have anything. So the structure is important. So Euro USD is chilling on the daily chart again. I wouldn't say EU's clear. Someone said EU's clearer, right? Someone said EU's clearer. So what makes you think EU's clearer? And if it's clearer, what's your bias? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Did I take a trade this week? Yes. Cash. I did take a trade. I sold GBP USD yesterday. I sold it yesterday. So this trade was based out of the 3 hour area, my 3 hour POI being met, and the trade was based off the entry was based off the 5 minute time frame. So my entry was here in this area right here, and I took it down to these lows here, and I got out. I don't trade. Yeah, I trade US 30, Zach, not gold though. I don't trade gold. Julius, where did I? You learn from Omar. I don't know who Omar is, bro. I don't know who that is. Thoughts on CPI, Ash? I don't have a bias at the moment. Again, the news can do anything. What you got to understand about the CPI data, it could go either way. So once it is, it can do some type of manipulation. I don't really want to gamble on having a bias, if you get what I'm saying. I'd rather wait for it to show me what it wants to do. You shouldn't really be trading the news like that. Do you get what I mean? It's difficult to predict what the news is going to do. So I don't necessarily take a trade when the news comes out. I do think it's going to go higher though. It could come lower first and go higher, but that's what I think. Seb, is trading hard to do? Not at all, Seb. It's hard if you don't know what it is you're trying to apply. It's all information that you're trying to apply to the chart. So it's not necessarily hard, but you have to have some dedication to it, and basically learn the right things, like learn how the market actually works. So there's terminology. If you're a beginner, you need to learn the terminology, like learn what certain things mean. And once you learn what certain things mean, you can then build off of that by then learning a strategy to then test in the charts, test in the market yourself. But it's not hard. You just got to be dedicated. It does require some work. Since when have I started trading? 6 years ago, I started trading. I'm bearish on EU. It aligns better with the DXY right now. That's all. Yeah, nah, facts. I hear that. But it's just, EU could push up first, then be a sell. Do you get what I'm saying? He's talking about MBB Omar. Again, bro. I feel like I'm being ignorant. I don't actually know who that is, bro. NBB. I'm not sure who that is, but I don't know. I'm bearish on EU. Alright, cool. Don't watch the news. Yeah, I'm not watching the news, bro, but this is important data. It's not about watching the news, but it's gonna affect the dollar. It is gonna affect the dollar, so you gotta kind of be in tune with that. Seb, you can learn tech analysis in 2-3 months, but risk management is another thing. Yeah, so risk management is definitely a key and integral part of trading, and that is what takes the longest for most traders to to become profitable. Excuse me. Some Bengali guy from London who made it big from trading, serious big. Okay, yeah, salute, man. Has he got a YouTube? I'll check him out if he's on YouTube for sure. You know what it is? When it comes to like social media, I don't really like look for other traders. I just can't be asked for that, man. It's long. What does all of this mean? This is Izzy. This is trading. Welcome to the stream. It's basically a chart. This is basically the dollar index. So there's news coming out for the dollar in 6 minutes, and it's going to influence the direction of the strength or the weakness of the dollar. And obviously you can profit off of that if you know the direction. So I'm not in any trades at the moment, but that's basically what this chart means if you're looking at it. How did you get into trading? I want to start. So my journey was kind of long-winded. I used to be a gas engineer, basically. I used to do plumbing, saved up some money, basically. I wanted to switch career because I wasn't happy with my job. So I decided to quit my job, and I started investing in cryptocurrencies. And yeah, after investing in cryptos, I basically looked at the chart and realized I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what any of this means. So I made it my business to learn about it, because if you're going to invest into something, you need to know about it. So that was the start of my learning how to trade Forex. So I learned the basics. After I learned the basics, it kind of got me into, you know, the journey of learning, getting better at the skill. Do you know what I mean? Like refining your strategy, all of these things. And, you know, I'm 6 years in now. So first 3 years of trading, I didn't make no money in the first 3 years of trading. Now, I'm not saying it takes that long. It doesn't take that long, but I had to unlearn a lot of things that didn't work. So the way I trade now is not the way I traded when I first started. So probably like many people that get into the game, they don't trade the same way they when they started out. So there was a lot of errors made, and I didn't have a mentor at the time to teach me right from wrong. So there was a lot of things that I had to learn on my own through experience, which made it a longer time to kind of become profitable. So yeah, it's definitely a skill worth learning. I think everybody can do it. It's just you need to kind of be dedicated to it and actually commit to the process of learning. It's like anything. If you go to university, you study for 3 years, you know, you got to learn about what it is you're partaking in. So trading's no different. You're just trying to basically get better at reading the price to see if it's going to go up or go down, so that you can make a speculation on that and profit from it. That's basically what you're doing. The hardest part of the journey is undoing the damage in the first 2 years. Now that's a fact. So it's like, yeah, the first 2 years, like, of going through that mess, like, it was just messy. Do you know what I mean? No risk management. Do you know what I mean? Or just blowing small accounts. Like, I started with small accounts. So I was trading, as I was learning to trade, I was trading small accounts, like, live. You shouldn't do that. If you don't know how to trade, you shouldn't trade live. So these are little things that affected me psychologically, where it's like I had to get better at it. Do you know what I mean? So don't trade live if you're learning. Just learn first and demo trade. It's been a journey, but if you want to learn the basics, Izzy, I've got a free community. Just DM me, and I'll send you the link to my free community. NWBB. Alright, yeah, cool. I'll check this guy out still. What do you think, CPI up or down? Again, I'm not into the guessing game of CPI up or down. I don't know what the result's going to be, so I can't really say it's going to go up or down. 10 indicators on the chart. Now, yeah, not 10. I had about 5, but yeah, you know what I mean? We're doing too much. I actually got a video coming out on indicators. What day is today? Tuesday. Tomorrow. So if you're not on my YouTube channel, I've got a YouTube channel as well. I'm nearly at 500 subscribers. So try get me to 500, guys. I'd appreciate that. But there's a video coming out on why indicators are killing your account. So definitely check out my YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos I upload there, psychologically and things and such. You know, hopefully you guys can get some wisdom off that. Thoughts on gold? I'm waiting on the dollar, bro. So I don't have a thought on gold currently. I just want to see what the dollar's doing. I'm not gonna go through gold yet because the dollar news is out in 90 seconds. You full-time trading now? Yeah, I've been full-time trading for 4 years now, bro. But yeah, I'm doing a coconut water fast. That's why I'm drinking this coconut. FX or futures only? Yeah, both, bro. I like both. I think the futures charts are a lot cleaner. I don't know why that is, but I think they're a lot cleaner. I can't lie. Right, we've got 40 seconds. So, you guys can see this price action. I don't want to go too low of a time frame because you don't really need to do that. I just want to see what's happening. Yes, Lucas. Oh, you're good. So yeah, let's see what's going on with this dollar, man. I feel like if we come down first, we could go up. I switched to futures recently. So much less manipulation on the back end. Yeah, the data feeds on Forex they're not that good. I'd agree with you on that. Best site to buy funded. I don't know. Can someone help him with that? I'm not fully sure. Right, so the dollar's coming down first. Ooh. So had an alert for EU. Okay, dollar is slamming down. Okay, so we broke the consolidation. Okay, US 30 just rose up heavy as well. So, dollar's slammed down. It's wicking though. I reckon it's slamming. Alright, what was the actual result? One sec. So, inflation is lower. The CPI, is lower than expected, than what the consensus was. Okay. Core inflation. All right, so the core inflation has gone up. So that means that's not good for the dollar. That isn't good for the dollar. If this core inflation's gone up, that's not good at all. Okay, so the euro's pumped pretty high. GU's pumped as well. And US 30's pumped as well. So okay, US 30 is bullish currently from this area. Right. We are fully bearish on Euro GBP. But there's 1 hour 115. Might go there to take out liquidity. So yeah, so I used to trade Euro GBP, but then because I trade GBP USD, I used to correlate the pairs, which isn't good. So I stopped doing that. Euro GBP. What made you pick that pair out of all the pairs available? Just out of curiosity. I used to find it was quite choppy. It didn't change, it didn't change that often. Right, I'm just looking at US 30. It's pumped up. This is why it's difficult trading the news. It's difficult trading the news. You shouldn't really trade the news. This is why. Because you can't predict direction. It's very difficult to predict the direction. So we're not into the business of the news is going to be this result. The dollar's going to do this. I'm experienced enough to know that you shouldn't do that. Because you don't have a clue what it's going to do. So GU is wicking. EU is wicking. The dollar is wicking too. Yeah, it's possible, but there's no structure to go off of, so it's just not ideal. Do you know what I mean? It's not ideal since, I do think the dollar can get stronger. I do actually think that though. But when you have one candle, like, and you're just like reacting off that candle, listen, I've been there and done that. That stuff doesn't work. You can't go off of one candle and be like, yeah, it's gonna do this. You know, it's wicking, it's gonna do this. No, I've done that too many times. That stuff doesn't work long term. If you want to be profitable, you don't go against the market pumping this way. Like, it's difficult to do that. Do you know what I mean? It is gambling still. 100% is gambling. I'm not into the business of gambling. I'd rather miss the trade than gamble. Just made 1.4 on news. Salute, bro. My guy has an 80% win rate on trading news, bro. It's insane. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But what was you trading? What instrument was you trading? Right. Oh my, no, but what pair? What pair was you trading? Oh, the Nas. Okay, I hear it. Alright, cool. So G's pushed out into this area. Nothing yet from a potential sell. It could form a sell from here, but there's not enough to say it's a sell just yet. Need to see a bit more. And it all depends how this candle closes too, to be honest. All depends how this closes. But yeah, what pairs are you guys looking at? I know someone said it was looking at US 30. It's very bullish. Super bullish. What pairs is everyone else looking at though? I was looking at German 30. Aye, you saying you trade in the DAX? I don't know many people that trade the DAX, you know. GU and GBP CAD. Bearish. What are you hoping when you say you're bearish on GBP USD, yeah? Are you selling right now or are you hoping it becomes a sell? Because I don't see a sell for it right now. I do think it can come down, but the structure's going up and we ain't really seen a break in structure. So just US 30 and the Nasdaq, yeah, I hear you. I wanted to buy a US 30, but if it continues to pump it's on, I'll leave it alone. I do think the 4 hour, the 3 hour could actually pull it back. It's inside this imbalance area. Could react from this candle, come down. Maybe we get some buyers then. I hope so. Ross, what's good, bro? Hope you're blessed. I stay away from FX personally. Yeah. I like to mix it up though. I don't really like to just trade indices or just currencies. Like I like one pair of each. So I trade one indice, one commodity, one currency. Or two, to be fair, I look at EU as well, but I like to trade oil, US 30 and GBP USD. I don't really like to just look at one set of instruments. But that's just me though. German 40 trade nice today, bro, at London. Yeah, sick. I hold for a couple days, I don't scalp. Yeah, I'm not a scalper either. Nah, but I'm just saying, when you're saying you're holding the trade, like, are you in the trade at the moment? Because I don't know if it's a sell right now, is what I'm saying. I don't know if GBP USD is a sell right this second. I think it can be a sell. It just doesn't look like one right now. Especially off the back of the news and the dollar dropping. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. The dollar's not showing me enough to sell the majors. It's not showing me enough to sell it. The inflation came in worse than expected. So meaning the inflation came in higher. So the core inflation rate was supposed to be 3%. It's coming 3.1. It's not. This says better than expected result. It's not. They want it lower. They don't want it to go higher. They want the inflation lower. Yeah. So that means that the dollar's getting weaker. If inflation's going higher, the buying power of the dollar is getting weaker in real life. Do you get what I mean? So, do you trade the DAX too? No, I don't trade the DAX. I trade US 30. But I used to know someone who lived in Germany and they did trade the DAX. So, yeah, that's, I ain't heard no one mention the DAX in a while, bro. So, salute to you for picking that one. That's sick. Better be a sell. Got stopped out at NY Open. Which pair is that, bro? Loke. Which pair did you get stopped out of? Great long on gold right now. Yeah. Gold, to be fair, gold probably going crazy. Let me see that. Oh no, this shit's fucking... Bro, this shit's consolidating, bro. This ain't doing nothing. This price action stinks. Bro, I thought gold would have been moving, like. This ain't even really doing anything. Well, to be fair, it's gone up like 160 points. It has gone up, but compared to like what GU's doing, this ain't doing much. This ain't looking that good at all. It's going up now, but this price action's choppy, man. Look, it's chopped. So whenever you get price action that's ranging like this, look, it's broke out the bottom of the range, I guess. But this ain't good price action to be trading this. I get it's in a 4-hour area and stuff. I do get that, but this price action is not that good right now. It could get better, but it's not that good at all. It's actually on a bigger time frame just going sideways. But yeah, the 5-minute looks like it could get stronger. It's looking like it might get stronger actually. I don't trade gold though. It's not my pair, but I see boom, reaction, retest of the imbalance, and then yeah. So it can go up, but it's still within a range really. It's taken out the bottom, it's gone into the top. It could go for the highs of the range. Nah, bro, there's no co-hosting going on. Sorry about that. But yeah, gold doesn't look that good. Stop inviting me, bro. Alright. Jay, is your strategy 1 hour daily market bias, 4 hour, 2 hour? Nah, it's once in POI. Go to small time frame for entry. Yeah, but it's kind of like that, but it's not as simple as that. Meaning, it's not just 1 hour in daily bias those are the main time frames that I look at, but it's not just those time frames. It's also market structure. The bias is formed on those time frames, but it's more to do with what the structure is. It's not just 1 hour, 4 hour. Today's bullish, yesterday's bearish. It's not like that. It depends on the trend. But those time frames is where I get my areas of interest from, not the 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. That's too small. 4 hours not small, but I like the daily and the 4 hour. But yeah, smaller time frame is all for the entry. So 15-minute and lower is normally where I find my entries. What do I think of the NAS? I think the NAS can go higher. So let me see. Okay, so the NAS is even took out these highs here. Okay, so NAS has actually made it's taken out the all-time high up here. So it could actually get it could just continue, man, and make a new higher high, like close and make a new higher high. That's what it's looking like. There's nothing bearish about this. It's just going up. GU is rallying right now. That's because the news just came out, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not a news trader. Like, this next candle on the dollar could just continue flatlining. Do you get what I mean? So how many trades do you take per week? It depends, bro. There's no set amount of trades. It just depends on opportunity. Like, trades, I could take, I don't know. You mean like individual positions? If you mean individual positions, I could take maybe 10 positions across 3 different pairs if there's an opportunity to do that. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes it might be 6, 7 positions. You know, and if my pairs are not doing anything, maybe there's no days where like 2 days in a row I might not take a trade. It might be like 3, 4 positions. Do you get what I mean? It just all depends on the chart. I wouldn't say there's a set amount per week. It's what is your chart showing you? Is it showing you opportunity or not? That's kind of what you got to think about. FTMO probably the best funded company. Yeah, I would probably agree. I don't know anyone that's not, you know, not been paid out with FTMO. There's probably others, but, you know, I'm not super familiar with them. But yeah, for me, the dollar, again, we had a range. This is how you got to look at the dollar, right? It was consolidating. It's gone out the top of the consolidation. It could all come for the bottom of the consolidation now. That's how you should think about it. Or it shows you some type of structure to suggest that it's going to get stronger. And there's no structure suggesting it's going to get stronger right now. It's just going down. Do you understand? So if that's the case, you know, believe in what it's showing you. And don't trade against it. Because you don't need to trade against it. You're just going to do yourself more harm. You're just going to do yourself more harm. EU and GU look bullish. They don't look bearish. Could I look at gold? Yeah, I'll look at gold. It's not doing much though, but I'll look at it again. Gold for me is broken out the bottom of the range, and now it's looking like it's probably going to go for the top of the range. That's kind of what I see. This was going sideways. It was going sideways, and now it's taken out the bottom. And then since it's taken out the bottom, you can see the manipulation to now start going higher. So I definitely think it can continue. You might get one more pullback, but I reckon it will continue higher. That's what it looks like. That's what I can see. What's your bias for gold? What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening? Who's in a trade right now off the CPI news, or is everyone just out? But I don't see much for gold though. Let's go bullish. I hear that. Excuse me. So GU can definitely come higher. Yeah, we need to see, man. I think the dollar isn't showing anything to suggest switching the bias yet. You know, it's not showing any signs of turning around yet. You know, we got 3 minutes left. Sorry, 8 minutes left to the hour candle closes. I want to see how this candle closes. But nothing to suggest, yeah, you should swap your bias from what's happened from the CPI deal. If it's gonna get bullish here, it needs to show some structure to get bullish here. There's no structure saying it's bullish just yet. It could change, but there's nothing saying it's bullish yet. Yeah, the GU spiked to the high, but what does that mean though? We need to see. All right, so for GU, I want to see if we break past this point here. Then I will consider that it's doing something in this 4-hour area. But has to break past, otherwise it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, so it's a sweep, but there's no breaker structure yet. So need to see something. But I do hear you though. Need to see breaker structure. No breaker structure, then the structure is still bearish on the dollar. Has to break the structure. So if we could sweep above here, you know, come above here, then yeah, we could potentially see a change, but need to see that happen. Need to see that happen for sure. But yeah, for anyone that is new or looking to get into trading and they want access to my free community, just message me on here. DM me a message, say I want access to your free community. I'll send you the link after this live. Yeah? And then we'll go, I'll send you it through there. What time frame you on? I'm on a 1 hour time frame on the DXY. I was on a smaller time frame just now, so this is like the 1 minute time frame. This is what it's currently doing. So look, structure, it's making lower lows, yeah? There's nothing to suggest we're bullish yet. So it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. Think about what you got to think about. Yeah, you see when there's news out, when the news comes out, think about how many people are buying and selling right now, like entering trades right now. Yeah. So what you gotta understand is, you don't want to be a part of, what the masses are doing. Trying to buy it. Think about when this was pushing up, who pressed buy. That's what you should think about. Everyone's pressing buy as it's rising, and they think it's gonna go through the roof. You gotta think about beginners. Like beginners are doing that, yeah. So now that it's hit this area and it's coming down now, think about like the confusion that's causing. It's causing people to panic. It's causing people to react to the candles. All of these things, right? That's what the news does. It's there to trick you. It's there to trick you. So just be careful. Okay, US 30 structure is heavily bullish without a pullback. Right, what are you guys saying? Those are concepts, bro. It's not concepts. It's things that have been repackaged, bro. Wait, what? Liquidity sweep is literally a false breakout. Ask any professional trader. False break. Yeah, I mean, it's manipulation. But yeah, I get what you're trying to say. It's just manipulation. Bare liquidity because beginners just follow trends. AMD is literally Wyckoff theory. Yeah, Wyckoff is, I studied Wyckoff as well. It's not as true as what they're saying it is. Like, accumulation and distribution happens, yeah, but it doesn't happen as frequent as what they're saying it happens. Like, if you're looking at Wyckoff or you're trying to apply Wyckoff, yeah, you want that to appear in an area that you're trying to trade in. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You'll be looking at Wyckoff in random areas where it's like you're just confusing yourself. Yeah. So Wyckoff is like it does what, like, I understand the concept of like when it starts accumulating, and I get it, but you see that a lot, and that can actually mess you up. So it's not as simple as that. What pair is this? This is US 30. This is US 30. Yeah, I'll trust you. I guarantee you ain't profitable. Keep thinking. Wyckoff is too subjective. I can't lie. Yeah, it's very subjective because you can see Wyckoff appear in a lot of places, and then you start following it, and then your trade is a dud, bro. So Wyckoff is like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't work. It does work, but it has to be applied in areas that you want to see it forming. Otherwise, you're just applying it everywhere on the chart, and that's going to get you in problems. It's not as simple as that. I don't think Wyckoff is as accurate as what they say it is. And I've back tested it too. I know you ain't. I've been in this game long enough to know who's real and who's fake. Alright, guys. Let's calm down the argument, man. We don't need to pit each other against pit ourselves against each other. We don't need to do that. What strategy is this? Young J. What's your strategy? Let's start with that, bro. Let's start with that. But yeah, so looking at US 30, if it closes like this, it's a very strong indication. Maybe we can get some pullbacks going into the stock open, which is in 30 minutes. And then I actually think US 30 will go higher. I'm just not going to buy into it right now. Yeah, SMC concepts. Familiar with that, bro. Familiar with that. I know exactly what you're looking at. I apply them as well. So I know what you're looking at. So yeah, US 30 for me is very, very bullish. Hopefully we get a pullback. It would be great if we could. So let's see. I'm going to put an alert there. The euros is again. Sorry, the majors Euro USD is quite confusing. I'll be real. It's not showing me enough to believe in it. Same with the dollar. It's not showing me enough to believe in it. So need to see some more. One thing I say with the dollar, it is in an area it can get stronger from. So hopefully it shows us something. Like in terms of the structure changing. There's no structure change right now. So the next candle which is open, it could literally just start slapping down again. Bro, I was bullish for today since yesterday, but I woke up too late. Oh man, feel better soon, bro. Yeah, nah. If your head's hurting, definitely don't trade. One thing about trading as well, you gotta be in the right frame of mind. So if you're ill, it's cool, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like your health is more important. So hopefully you feel better soon, bro. Hopefully you feel better soon. Right. So right, where's the dollar? Look, the dollar is open. It's looking like it wants to slap down on the 1 hour, but that's why you gotta wait for breaks of structure. Where did you learn about the psychology of training? Honestly, Luke, I learned about psychology through listening to other experienced traders. So guys that, are profitable, consistent, and obviously thinking about the mistakes I was making in trading as well. Like actually, when it comes to trading, you got to be able to hold yourself accountable in terms of what you're doing wrong and what you're also, the habits you have when you trade, whether they're good or bad. You got to be able to recognize the good and bad habits that you have when it comes to managing the trade, especially. Like, let's say you're in the trade, you're in a little bit of profit. Maybe the trade comes back to your entry. How are you going to react to that? What do you do? Do you start moving your stop loss? All of these things, bro. These are what you have to overcome as a trader, because they're going to continue to show up in your results if you don't address them. So psychology is just about addressing the mental battles that you're facing when you're in a trade or looking to get into a trade. So most of it comes through experience, bro. I'll be real with you. Most of it comes through knowing and assessing what works and what doesn't work, truthfully speaking. How long did it take you to become profitable? 3 years, bro. Took me 3 years to become profitable. Long-term bearish on DXY, 3-month candle, distribution lower. Yeah, okay. I hear that. This is the 3-month. Bro, these are some old markings, boy. That's mad. These markings are super old. Let me get rid of these. Hold on. Bang, 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 bang. I've got so many old markings, boy. That's crazy. Right, 3-month bearish long term. I think definitely I understand why that is. Oh no, what am I doing? Yeah, so a month and a little bit until this candle closes. So long-term bearish, but even if the next candle opens, it could come into this area as well. But I get you though. I do see why you're saying what you're saying. The dollar is getting weaker, man. Like, long-term it is getting weaker. Definitely. Definitely. What's your take on Wasteman Urimi? I mean, you've already... I said Wasteman. You've already started by brushing him, bro. I don't even... Listen. You see these names, yeah? They sound familiar, but I don't actually know these people, bro. I don't actually know that like, I think you're talking about did he move to Dubai or not, bro? You know about the brother that moved to Dubai, innit? I know who you're talking about. But the fact that you said Wasteman, it's like you've already got an opinion on him. which is crazy. I don't know who he is, innit? I don't know what he trades. I don't know, bro. Overcomplicating a trade has to be the worst habit. Yeah, but these are all psychological things that you have to kind of get better at within your strategy. Do you get what I mean? Like you have to form a better belief in the trade that you're taking. That's the only way to get better, truthfully speaking. You don't get better any other way. So, you know, that comes with experience. You can't really there's no really there's no real way of you know, training for that, if you want to call it that. Like there's no way to train that. You have to go through it and experience it to get better at it, you know? And that it comes with time. It really does come with time. It's a experience thing. Like there's different, because you got to remember, let's say you've been trading a year, yeah? In terms of like a career, year's not that long time in a career. You should always think about trading as like, you know, not a job, but like you're trying to make a career out of it, yeah? 1 year's not that long. In 1 year, there's 4 seasons, yeah? So you got winter, you got autumn, winter, spring, summer. They're all different cycles of how the market moves. So 1 year in, you're not going to be familiar with that, of how it moves, like when it decides to, you know, show you things. And do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to gain experience. Some of it is just about gaining experience, truthfully. Right, so GU's actually pushing past these levels now, which is showing me signs that it wants to potentially sell off. Is the dollar getting stronger though? The dollar is getting stronger. So if we could breach this high, I would actually favor the dollar getting stronger. They're from APG. Nah, they're older than that, bro. They're older than that. They're older than that. Right, so even US 30 is getting weaker. If US 30 can pull down though, that would be great. Alright, dollar is getting stronger still. So yeah. This is why you gotta wait for the dust to settle with the news, do you get what I mean? Because the more you start just, you know what I mean, going in too crazy, that's how they manipulate you, because they know retail traders are gonna trade the news regardless. They know this. People following this bullish candle, buying it up, now they're potentially in drawdown, and that's the aim of the game. It's there to trick you. So, how's the dollar closing? Okay, I need the dollar to close. Yeah. Okay, dollar's not looking too bad. Right, let me just check my what's it called? Alright, cool. So what else have we got? US 30. Okay, so I'm gonna wait on US 30. Oil's not showing me anything. Right, cool. Right, what's happening? What's everyone saying? It's warm today, man. It is mad warm today. Can't lie. Where's my water at? Can't find it, man. Cha. GJ. Yeah, I'll check GJ for you. What's your bias? What do you think it's gonna do? Okay, so it looks like GJ is a touch this high. Yeah, it's just with that high. Okay, it's with the high. Started pulling down though. Wait, sell. Yeah, it's possible for a sell because it's taking out this daily high here. The only thing I'd say is that in terms of like what it's been doing this week, it is quite bullish this week. So it could make a new higher for this week. Do you get what I mean? So it might be a short term sell, but it could also just continue to like overall it's been trending higher since coming out of that range on the daily time frame. So look, this basically this was going sideways, right? It then came out the bottom of the range and broke the range, yeah. And since it's broke the bottom, it's now targeting the top of the range. So, you know, if you're selling, you're selling against the direction the market's going in. Yeah. So if you are trying to sell it, it could be a short-term sell, but I feel like how the daily and the weekly's looking is more than likely to make a new higher high here. If you get what I'm saying. So it could come down today. It could come down today, but I don't know if it's overall gonna be a sell. I can't see that. Waiting on the stock open, yeah. I'm waiting on the stock open. Does anyone actually own any stocks? Does anyone have a stock portfolio? Does anyone have a stock portfolio? I bought some Nvidia not long ago, which is doing pretty well, but I want to get some better. Only crypto, small under 10k, yeah. Yeah, stocks. That's the thing with stocks. You need a lot of capital to put into it to kind of see good, like solid returns. So I hear you on that. I do hear you on that. Right. So the dollar, if it is gonna get stronger, needs to make a new higher high on a smaller time frame. Okay, so CPI has come out now. Stocks for people who have a lot of money to get. Yeah, so yeah, the stocks I actually bought, all of them were for that reason. Like I wanted to start getting dividends to buy more shares with the dividends. That's kind of the plan I've got for them. But it's worth it though. Like long term, you do that for 10 years, bro. You're good. Do you know what I mean? Like every 3-6 months, they're gonna pay you a dividend. So that's the way forward, man. You gotta diversify. As much as like trading is great, you wanna have money in all of these things. You want to have money in all of these things. Alright, 15 minutes to the stock open though. This what pairs? This is Euro USD. Just looking to see what it's done. It's kind of just pushed out, and then I want to see if the dollar's looking to get stronger though. But it doesn't. The dollar's not showing signs on the bigger time frame. It's not looking like it's trying to get stronger. But I do think we you know we're on the back end of a news event, so it's not likely to get stronger in the media aftermath because of the manipulation. Alright, US 30. What do you think of US 30? I'm just going to wait for the stock open, bro, but I think it's actually going higher. I'm going to wait on the open, but I think it's going to push up, bro. Yeah, so for me, I think we're going to take out these highs for sure and potentially this high as well. Maybe this high this week, but definitely I reckon we'll go for these highs. So, yeah, I think off the push it had, it's in an area that is turned bullish from. That's what it's showing me, bro. So even if it comes down before stock open, that's probably a good sign to get bullish again, you know? But that's what it's showing me. Alright, so the dollar's fading. Alright, hold on. Someone's messaging me. Alright, any of you lot have a Apple Watch? If so, which model do you have? Does anyone have an Apple Watch? You got a Garmin. What's a Garmin? I ain't heard of that one. Enlighten me, bro. What's that? What's a Garmin? It's a sports watch. Okay. Got people calling me. I got people at my door, but I can't answer that, man. Ciao. Alright, so this is US 30. Yeah, stock open. It's a sports watch. What, is it better than an Apple Watch then? You think it's better than Apple Watches? Whoop better than Garmin for sports. Yeah, I've heard of Whoop actually, but I'm not. Isn't that like for runners? Or am I being ignorant? Isn't that like a runner's watch? I'm not a runner, so what's the best ones? Let me know. I'd never use Whoop. Can't have an opinion. Oh, I don't know. Never used Whoop. All exercise. Whooper ain't a watch though. Right. Okay. Okay. I think it's better than Apple Watches. I've got a Garmin. What pair? Oh, I've never heard of a Garmin though. That's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, coming down on NAS and U30. Yeah, so that's what I think, bro. I'm waiting on US30. If we retrace, I'm gonna look for buyers because the structure, as much as it's gone coming down, it's just wicking down, you know. So I will definitely, if we can get down before the stock open, maybe I'm gonna look for some buyers as well. So did I place any trades? No. So the area I'm looking to buy on US30 is if we revisit this level here. Where's my thingy? 1 second. If we can revisit these candles here, I'm gonna look to buy it. Not like straight off, not straight away like press buy, but if we come in here and start stalling, like consolidating, showing breaks of structure, that's what I'm gonna look to do. I'm gonna look to buy. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. What's the NAS saying? Is it coming down? The only thing with the NAS, yeah, is like buying the NASDAQ is like buying at the highs, which is kind of like stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's not really. Yeah, it's the 2 hour time frame, bro. You can go on the 4 hour too. It'll probably show you a similar picture, but that was the 2 hour. Yeah, the only thing with buying the NAS, yeah, is like you're buying at the highs, innit? Which is just kind of dumb. So I'm not really with buying the NAS because again I don't really like it's too high, man. I know it sounds mad because if it goes up it's gonna go up higher, but I don't like the fact that the NAS is at like the all-time highs. Buying it is a bit crazy. Yeah, but there's always corrections. Which pair are you talking about? Talking about the NASDAQ. Yeah, no, there is always corrections, but obviously, I'm just saying, if US30 goes up, Nasdaq should also go up, but it could also come down a bit more and correct a bit more before going up, and vice versa too. This is US30, Ollie. So it's like the fact that US30 isn't near all-time highs, like you still have some structure to kind of read to suggest that yeah, it's gonna make its way up. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the Nas, you don't really know how far up it's gonna go. Like what I'm saying is it's harder to get a take profit on the NAS because there is no other price action there. There's no other, you can't go off of any areas because there is no other areas. It's taken out everything. You don't need to ride the whole wave. No, that's not what I'm saying. I know you don't need to ride the whole wave. I'm saying if you're going on the Nasdaq and it makes a new all-time high, you don't know how high it's gonna go, right? To then say, all right, cool, this is the new all-time high. Whereas US30, if you have take profits on US30, you kind of understand why you have take profits at those prices because you have previous price action. Do you understand? Whereas the Nas doesn't have that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but trading on lower time frames, if it's at an all-time high, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything if it's a lower time frame. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't mean, what does that mean? Right, we've got 4 minutes. Right, so the dollar's looking like it's getting stronger. Someone said composure, you know. Alright, cool. Don't let him mess your thoughts. Best trades. Yeah, I understand, bro. I get what you're saying, bro. I don't. I understand everything you're saying. If you're trading in Nas, salute, bro. Do you know what I mean? Salute, bro. I hope the trade bangs for you. But I'm looking at US 30. Right. So the dollar is actually potentially rising now. So 4 hour is kind of like pulling back. So it could be in the clear to come down. Sorry, the majors could be in the clear to come down. So yeah, let's see. All right, we got 2 minutes to the stock open. All right, cool. I trade GU, NAS, and US 30. No, I trade GU, US 30, and oil, but oil's not doing anything. So I'm not looking at oil right now. Oil is just is sideways and it's been coming down heavy, but I want it to either break the lows or retrace up higher and then potentially sell. So there's nothing on oil. So I'm just looking at GBP USD and US 30 right now. EU sells, bro. Yeah, I can see the dollar's getting stronger. So it just needs to kind of maintain the structure. And yeah, the majors will come down. So yeah, the dollar is looking like it's getting stronger, but need to see a little. I need to see the structure continue, basically. But yeah, I'm with you. You know, dollar, the structure is going this way now. So even if it pulls back one more time, we could look to continue higher. So yeah, I'm with that. With the EU, the major sells. I'm with that. But yeah, US 30. Let's see what US 30 is doing. Okay. Open just happened, by the way, for those that are wondering why it's pumping. But yeah, if you guys want access again to my free community, just shoot me a DM. Just say I want access to your free community. I'll send you the link. I can't post it in the live because it doesn't allow you to do that. But for anyone that's like, you ain't even got to be a beginner. If you just want to be a part of a community, you know, that week to week looks at charts, shoot me a message. I'll send you the invite, man. There's a lot of content in there that you can learn from as well. So yeah, let me know if you guys want access to that. Right, US 30 is showing signs of continuing the buy strength. Okay, 4 hours still coming down. Yeah, we gotta wait and see right now. It's just doing its thing. I do think there's buyers on the cards, but I want it to come back to this level really. But we'll see. We'll see what it does. Hmm. Alright, what's the dollar doing? Dollar's pulling down. Alright, US 30 is not giving none the retest that I wanted. It's pushing up higher, man. So if it does continue and takes out these highs, then it's gonna invalidate the idea that I had. Then it's like waiting for the next trade. So we gotta see what we got. It's a brand new candle as well. So no retest. So yeah, gotta wait and see what it's giving. Tap nearly 50% imbalance, seem to be rejecting from it. Nice monthly, just gonna wait and see. What's that on the buy or sell side? Yeah, patience is definitely key. We're not just jumping in just because the chart's moving. On the Nas. Yeah, no, but which side? Which way? For the buy. I see what it's. I see what it's saying. Ugh. I see what you're saying. I'm 1.2% down on my funded account. Okay, bro. What did you trade today? You can make that back though. That's not that bad. Bearish for DXY. Um, I don't know, bro. I feel like the price can go up on DXY if it continues doing what it's doing. It's on track to get stronger. So I don't know about that. Yeah, but 1.2%, you can make that back, bro. Just find a good trade, man, and wait on a good trade as well. Don't rush it just because you're in drawdown. Drawdown happens to everyone. It won't let you put the pair because of the setting. What are you trading? Futures. This isn't futures, that's why. So yeah, man. Forex. I don't know them, bro. Maybe you're putting in the wrong input of what the acronym is, what it's called. Check the acronym, see if the acronym is right that you're putting in. Alright guys, I'm probably gonna wrap the stream on what are you trading on, please. So MetaTrader 5. I use MetaTrader 5, Claire. I also use TradingView and link my brokerage to the TradingView as well. So if you want access as well, what I was saying is DM me or message me on my profile if you want access to my free community to just be around other traders, talk trading charts, content, everything trading related. Just message me on my account right now. I'll send you the link to it. It's free. You ain't got to pay for it. If you just want to be around traders that are experienced, just let me know, yeah? Pound versus yen is GBP JPY. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap the stream here. Thank you lot for tuning in. I will be back on Friday streaming as well. Hopefully I have some more opportunities for you guys, okay? But now those that have tuned into inflation, CPI, you know, the volatility that can come into the market, don't force nothing. Do you get what I mean? Don't react to the candles. Make sure it matches what your criteria is to enter. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, man. Thank you. We rocking the Bottega V, bro. Oh shit. I'm going brazy. Alright, cool. So Cubans and bracelets and banklets. open these fucking windows. It's hot, bro. This is the same link, bro. Brother, this is the same link. Market structure, 100%. What is the best? What is the best? Cardi is a skeleton. Alright, cool. We rocking the Bottega V. Oh, word.